Welcome back to another AMC Financial Astrology Update video. DD on AMC, you absolutely cannot get anywhere else. I'm your host, Jason Alexander, the Blue Moon Neptune, here to help you navigate through the illusions of life. And you're watching Market Moon Lord, where we merge the matrix with the stars. And we're going to be going over today AMC's Financial Astrology, where we check out the moon phases to try to predict where AMC is going to go next week, along with GameStop. And we're going to predict where the SPY is going to go based on the moon phase analysis, like we do almost each and every week. If you guys have missed the last two update videos, it's because I went live and I was doing the updates on there. So if you guys aren't getting the notifications on my lives, go ahead and hit the bell notification to make sure you get the future lives. I'll be going live more often. Now, this week I am very excited for it because not only do we have a new moon coming up, we have a new moon eclipse in the sign of Scorpio, and we know Scorpio literally represents sudden changes. Scorpio would be the sign of volatility in the stock market, okay? And so we're going to get an absolute banger this week, and then after this eclipse new moon, we're going to have a full moon total eclipse, which is also going to be very interesting, and that's going to be in November, right before midterms in the sign of Taurus, where the moon is exalted. So I'm going to make this video short and sweet. Welcome to the Market Moon Lord, where we merge the matrix with the stars. I'm your host, Jason Alexander, the Blue Moon of Neptune, here to help you navigate through the illusions of life. Right now on the SPY, it's looking very interesting. We see over here we were dropping into this waning period, which is normal. And then 3 days before the new moon eclipse, based upon the trading days, 3 days before, we know we could typically get those moves starting then. And that's exactly what we had. We saw the SPY had a very big bullish move. We went 2.43%, and we had a lot of buying volume come in. Now, not only that, we also went above this support line that we've been kind of bouncing off of. And coming into next week, Tuesday, we have that eclipse. 3 days before we started getting the push, it's looking very interesting. We saw the MACD started to squeeze down on the daily, and then we got it pushed back up again. We got a lot of volume coming in. We got the vortex crossed. We got the RSI above 50 right now, and that's looking very, very sexy for a nice push coming into this next week on the overall market. And we know we have some catalysts because we have earnings coming out. I think we have Apple coming out with earnings. We have Google coming out with their earnings. Amazon, if they have big good earnings, we're going to see a rip in the market, and it's perfect timing because we're approaching those midterms, and based on history, the market tends to go up after midterms or around the midterms. Now, we also know that September is usually a really bad month in the stock market, and October tends to be a better month when we start seeing a reverse trend in the market. And that's sort of what we've been getting here. I know in October, we did see some bullish energy at the beginning, and then we start dropping again, but we're still in October, and now we're going up more than we're going down, or getting bigger moves up than we're getting bigger moves down. Okay, so we had a support here at the 366 level, and I said in my last video, we're probably going to be hovering around these support lines, and if we get a new moon above the support line, I'll be expecting a big push for that new moon eclipse, and that's exactly what it's lining up to do. Okay, so we did go above the 366. Right now we're approaching the 50 MA moving average. Now, this eclipse, I do expect us to get us to this resistance line at the 386 level. Okay, but check this out, we're approaching the 50-day MA, and if we look over here, the last time we bounced, or we got across the 50-day MA, we saw a nice 10% move. Okay, so I am expecting a really nice move this week. If we get 10% coming in this week, that would put us ironically right to that Pluto direct box, this yellow box. If you guys have been watching the channel, you know what I'm talking about. So I am expecting some type of bullish move soon in the next couple weeks, coming into that full moon, to get us back into this yellow box, or get us to the yellow box for the first time for the Pluto direct. Okay, and if that's the case, if we make that yellow box, I am expecting us to continue up an uptrend for the rest of the year, and that's also lining up with the midterm. So I'm looking very excited for that. Now, if we just get a push up to this line of 386 and we get resistance and we don't break it, then we could pop up into there and then consolidate in these areas before getting some type of move for the full moon eclipse. That eclipse is going to be on the 8th of November. And if you can see here that's a lunar eclipse, full moon eclipse, total eclipse, okay? And the same day we have the United States midterm elections, okay, on the same exact day. Here's a graph on what typically happens after the midterms. 6 months after the midterms on the SPY, we typically go up at least 16%. 12 months, 18%, and 24 months, 33%. So we really could be hitting an uptrend here. I also mentioned this in a past video. This is a Forbes article saying that typically the bear markets last 283 days. And based on when we started January 3rd, that will put us at October 19th when the bear market would finish. That's from Forbes itself. You all let me know what you think. So things are getting super, super spicy if you ask me. Okay, we're going to have an eclipse coming in this week, and then 2 weeks after that we have an eclipse right for midterms. Okay, so I'm definitely thinking that eclipse could take us all the way back to the $400 ranges. Not this coming eclipse, but the next one after that. But I think we're gonna see a big uptrend for the next 2 weeks. Okay, it could be a little choppy, but I think overall we're going to go up. So I'm looking very excited for that. And you guys already know what happens on meme stocks around eclipse. Okay, so we're gonna go over AMC and GameStop next, and we'll check out Ape because I'm seeing some type of pattern starting to form now. So before we get started, go ahead and hit that like to show me some love and support. I appreciate that. And if you're new here and want to see DD you absolutely cannot get anywhere else, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to hit the bell notification. All right, let's check out GameStop. Okay, so now we have GameStop pulled up, and GameStop's been looking way stronger than AMC. It's been looking way stronger than the SPY. So I'm looking for GameStop to make the move before everything else. And if that's the case, maybe GameStop squeezes, and then I throw even more money at AMC right before AMC squeezes. But you can see here on this eclipse over here for GameStop, we never hit underneath that. For GameStop and the SPY, we have gone underneath that, but not, or excuse me, for GameStop and AMC, we have gone underneath the last eclipse that I was calling a bottom, but not for GameStop. So that's very, very interesting to me. On the last live that I did, I said that we're probably going to keep chopping up in between these support and resistance lines because it was a waning period, but now we're about to enter the waxing period where we typically go up on that eclipse. Okay, so we are approaching that on GameStop. GameStop's about to make a vertex cross. GameStop is about to hit the 50 on the RSI, and it's still in the green on the MACD, looking very, very interesting. So for the eclipse, I am expecting us to make that push up and probably retest this $28 level. If we break that, I don't know how far we might go from there. We could see some crazy numbers if we break that. However, it's more likely we just go to this $28 level, and then we wait for that full moon to really skyrocket after that. Which, remember, that full moon eclipse is right during midterms, the same exact day. But GameStop is looking healthier than all the other ones because it's been more in a consolidating phase, trading in the same ranges. The bearish scenario is we retest this $23 level before bouncing up, but I don't think that is, because 3 days before this eclipse we already started going up. We had a nice bullish move, almost 4%. Okay, and like I said, we're still looking pretty good on the indicators. So I'm looking for GameStop to make that move first. Let's check out AMC. Okay, so we all know that AMC's been getting beat up, but hopefully we did reach a bottom that we're going to call the bottom for real this time, because on this eclipse it was the bottom for the longest time, but it's like we're resetting right back on that eclipse again. Okay, so we're right here at the 644, and we're right around that area on that last eclipse before it's going up. Let's see, we made since after that last eclipse we made 172% gain. Okay, so if we get that this time, it could take some time, But if we get that this time, we're looking at $15, okay? I am expecting a move this week. I did get into some calls. I got into some $8 calls. I got into some $9 calls and some $10 calls for next week, because I do think it's very realistic that for this eclipse, we do get above this line at the 655, and then that looks like that eclipse could take us all the way to the 837 level, okay, 838 level, okay? Now, it is a possibility that we hit this orange line. I'm more so looking for a really big push, because it is an eclipse to that orange line, which will put us at the 992, and if that's the case, we'll go ahead and test that really big trail line that we have here, this yellow one, which could bring us up very, very high. So I'm looking for a very strong move on AMC. Now, the MACD is looking pretty good. I mean, we are squeezing up, but the lines are way down there on the MACD. On the RSI, we're under 50%, and we haven't crossed on the vertex. So it doesn't look like we're going to get a huge move based on the indicators. It looks like it'll be a smaller move, but I am anticipating a whole market run if Apple, Google, Amazon, if those companies, I think Microsoft might be in there as well, if they get really nice earnings, we could expect the whole market to rip, and we could get some squeeze energy for sure. Okay, so I'm looking very forward to this week and the next 2 weeks coming into the full moon. You guys let me know in the comments below what you guys think. If you guys think we're going to get a huge move, if you guys think we're going to go down again, a bearish move would probably be going back to this 569 level, testing that. But again, I don't think we're gonna get the bearish move, and we're getting teased at this line. We've been trying to cross it, bouncing off that line at let's see, 655. But if we get above that 655 on Monday, that eclipse on Tuesday, and hopefully after that eclipse, because we'll be in a waxing period, we just keep heading up, eventually hitting 8 and then testing this 988 level. Okay, so I'm looking very forward to this week. This is the week I've been patiently waiting for a time to get into some calls, and I got in some calls. So hopefully we get a really big push on this week, and then I'm just going to roll those calls over to cover the next full moon, which is going to be on November 8th. That's also when the midterms are. All right, let's check out Ape. Okay, so I have Ape pulled up. Now, I told you guys that it tends to make moves on the perigee up, but I did notice that whether it's a perigee or apogee, and that's when the moon is closest or the furthest away, which is historically known to reverse things in the market. Ape is tending to respond to that more than it's responding to the new moon and full moons. Okay, obviously Ape had a crazy week. It had very nice harmonic volume when it comes to buying, and we had a crazy push. We're up 72% since the lows. Okay, and we're very far from where it started. Look at that volume buying. We haven't had volume like that ever on Ape since the beginning. The RSI is starting to approach the 50. We did get the vertex cross, and the money index flow is also going above 50. So I'm looking for a nice move on Ape this week. We have the perigee around the 28th of October, or is the 31st of October. So maybe after that we do get a reverse, but based upon the fact that it's bouncing off the apogee and perigees, it looks like we could get a continuation on Ape coming into this week. And let's see, we're approaching on the 4 hour, we did cross the 50 MA, and we're about to get the 1348 cross as well on Ape. So I'm thinking Ape's going to get a huge move. I was saying in my Discord that it looks like it wants $2.50 to $3, but this upcoming week we could even get, I don't know, 4s or more. Okay, so I am looking for Ape to make a huge move. You guys let me know if you're still in Ape. Let me know if you're still in AMC. Let me know if you're still in GameStop. Let me know if you guys are buying calls on SPY. What you guys think about the overall SPY is the bottom end. I did see some news that they could be going back a little bit on the rate hikes. So there's things getting very spicy, things lining up. And again, we got the midterm, so I'm looking forward to that. But I'm going to leave it there, short, sweet, and simple. I'm Jason Alexander, the Blue Moon of Neptune, here to help you navigate through the illusion of life. You're watching the Market Moon Lord. We're emerging with the stars. Until next time, peace.
Jason Alexander, the Blue Moon of Neptune.